Good evening, everyone, and welcome to MW Higher Moor Park for the Laois Ladies Senior Football Championship Final between Sarsfield, the holder, and Portlaoise. This game has been live streamed to you thanks to John Adams Car Sales, main Honda and Citroen dealer in Ballymackin and Portlaoise. We thank them for their support and allowing you to get this free of charge streaming. Today I'm joined, thankfully, by some great experts here who are going to help me through this final. On my left here, immediate left, is Angela Casey. Doesn't need any introduction, but I will, because Angela has been a stalwart for Laois many years, and of course her own club, Timahoe. And right beside her is another stalwart for Laois, and particularly Timahoe, Mo and Ernie. So welcome both ladies. Angela, if we can start, we're not far off from the throw in here, but I just want to talk to you about sorry, I go to Mo first, I suppose, about Sarsfield as reigning champions. You know what I mean? What are you thinking today, and you know what do you expect from them, having faced them probably last year yourselves?
Yeah, look, I mean, Pat, everyone knows Sarsfields. You know, they're going for 8 in a row this year. I mean, they're just being the dominant force in Laois this decade. You know, they've huge experience all over the field as well. But yeah, on the other side, I mean, Portlaoise are there for this year. You know, I mean, they have a great team. They've been unbeaten all year, so it's going to be a great game. And you know, it's great to see the match back in the Moor Park as well. You know, it's not more than the girls deserve. So it's a great day.
And even though Sarsfield might have had the one defeat this year was against Portlaoise, and you know what it's like playing them, particularly last year yourselves in county final. Sarsfield are a different team come final day, aren't they?
Absolutely, and they're never bet. Like, and that was even proven last week. They were 5 points down against Conlitz, and they came back and won by 5. They can always grind out a win, you know. So that was even us last year. We were a point up at half time against them, and they came back out and just blew us off the field. And that's what they can do, you know. So they've such, I think, is it their 15th final they're going for? You know, or not final, sorry, 15th final to be in since 06. So, you know, I mean, that's an incredible record. And, you know, I think everyone in the county has huge respect for them that way. You know, they have been phenomenal. So, you know, I think it's going to be a great battle today, and I think everyone's looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we remarked earlier as well about the amount of players that are here who've just a week or so, maybe 2 weeks now, this stage, have won a Camogie county title. Will that help them, or do you think? Will that help them as well build up?
Absolutely. I think it was 13 girls that are playing dual players. You know, I mean, that'll stand to them huge. And that was only 2 weeks ago, you know, so I think that's going to be definitely stand to them coming into this game today. We're fitness with everything, with experience throughout the fields. And, you know, so used to playing with each other. All them girls are playing with each other for Moors, and now again here today for Sarsfield. And
Angela, Portlaoise, I suppose, look, they were in the final year before last and probably came up short, were unlucky in the time, but as a club and as a team, they've changed over the last few years, and they were here on merit for their year this year.
Yeah, like, you know, they're the new kids on the block, as you'd like to say, but they've been in the 3 county finals, 16, 17 and 18, so, you know, they're knocking on the door a few years now. Very young, vibrant. They've a nice little mix of experience there too, with Alison Taylor, Aisling Keogh, very experienced players. So look, I think it's going to be a great final.
And we see there Sarah Ann Fitzgerald has come back, I suppose, you know, in the last relative while, I suppose, after being concentrating probably in Camogie. Huge player for them. But Shauna Jackson is another player that's come into the Portlaoise setup, really added him, top scorer the last year, like with 2-7.
Yes, she's outstanding, and you know, I think they've yet to find somebody to mark her through the championship. Like, I think Portlaoise's championship performance will really stand to them today. It'll bring huge confidence to them. And look, they've nothing to lose. They're coming in here, they're unbeaten all year, so time will tell.
Yeah, and you know, from both of you, from experience, you know, county final day and all that, is there any chance, you know, the pressure may be on Portlaoise because they've beaten Sarsfields already, you know, they would not that they would expect, I'm sure they want themselves, and Stephen Duff will have them well grounded, but is there a chance that nerves can slip in? They're trying to get that first one. A relatively young club, I suppose, if you talk about 16 years kind of when they really started football in Portlaoise, you know what I mean, that could that affect them, their nerves, or do you think there's a lot of experience in there to get them, you know, really get a good
I think they're a little bit different this year. What do you think?
I think there's going to be nerves on both sides, Pat. I mean, because, you know, Sarsfields are going to come back today and want to get one back on them after them beating them back a few weeks ago. So, do you know, I think a county final, there is going to be the nerves, and I think once you get settle on the ball the first 10 minutes, you know, the nerves goes, you know, and if you can get your hands on the ball, do the simple things right, you know, I mean, that'll all go out the window then, you know, and I think it's set up for a cracker of a game. And, you know, it's great to see that spectators are back in Moor Park. You know, like the Camogie final was behind closed doors 2 weeks ago, and it's great that their family can come today, you know, and need to support them.
Our
So here we are, we're nearly ready to go with the throw-in. I'll quickly go through both teams. Sarsfield's in goal, Becky Williams, full backline, Ava Lawler, Jenny McAvoy and Amy Lockman, Rachel Williams, Emma McAvoy and Alison McAvoy at the half backline. Midfield is Joyce Dunn and Mags McAvoy. Half forward line, Aisling Bahan, Claire Conlon and Rosemary Birmingham. Full forward line, Megan Dunn, Lauren O'Sullivan and Laura Marie Marr. And for Portlaoise, they will show one change to their team in the programme. But in goal is Aoife Highland Conlon. Number 18, Ciara Byrne, replaces the injured Rebecca Redden. Full backline is Sarah Fleming and Claire Dunn. Half backline, Alison Taylor, Sarah Ann Fitzgerald, Ashley Saunders. Midfield, Fiona Dooley and Ellen Healy. Half forward line, Julia Cahill, Leah Lockman and Shauna Jackson. And full forward line, Aisling Keogh, Grania Moran and Amy Byrne. As Brendan Hickey, the referee for today, is getting ready to throw in the ball. We've a cracking game in store here, Angela, I'm sure, and we're really all looking forward to this as Brendan gets the ball underway and Sarsfield get the first break as Ellen Healy fights hard for it and won that ball, but Brendan decides to throw it back in again. So herself and Fiona Dewey in the middle of the field beside Joyce Dunn, but breaks away was Mags McAvoy. Joyce Dunn. Sarsfield's coming back into the middle now with it. Ball coming over here to Rosemary Birmingham. Rosemary came on the last day. Great player, being a long servant for Sarsfield. Sarsfield, Laura Marie Marr, she's going to be the danger person for them today. Megan Dunn, another super player, real strong player. Back out there, steady up, they're steady and not panicking as Mags McAvoy balls the ball round to Rosemary Birmingham. Rosie takes the kick, but that ball is intercepted by Portlaoise. And Portlaoise now look to clear their lines. Claire Dunn are coming out. That's Ellen Healy again on it. She'd want to be on the lot of this ball, and Grania Moran, who finds herself very far up the field at this early stage, moves across. That was Aisling Saunders to Aisling Keogh. She's looking up, she's going to try a big long kick. This is spectacular with one side. They've done this before. Will she get to it? No. It just went out over Alison Taylor and lively start, Angela, wouldn't there?
Yeah, great start there. Sarsfields were all over the ball, but Portlaoise defending was outstanding there. Alison Taylor came out with the ball. There was I counted five Portlaoise backs behind one player with the Sarsfields. Are outstanding defending by Portlaoise there.
Becky Williams kicks it out. That nearly went to Leah Lockman, but it doesn't. She does. Leah has it. She's moving inside. She's another dangerous player popping inside. That's Sarah Ann Fitzgerald, but that's gone to the left and wide. Becky Williams, who Angela, kept them in it, as the reports were saying, in the semi-final, will be looking for a better kick out, but you can see Portlaoise have man-to-man on her.
She will, but missed opportunity there for Portlaoise now, but good play, still good team play between them.
Amy Lockman moves it, and Mags McAvoy's back to clear it up, back to Amy. Sarsfield's moving out strong. Of course, there's a bit of a breeze, I suppose, into their face, Angela, as we say. It's blown from Portlaoise side.
Yeah, it's slightly favouring them.
Joyce Dunn, ball inside. Lauren O'Sullivan, another low ball, but I think Portlaoise going to mop that up, and they do, but she drops it in front. Again, there to pick it up is Ellen Healy. That comes out. Fiona Dooley was close, but Joyce Dunn quick inside. Laura Marie, of course. Inside that goes. Claire Conlon puts it in, but no one inside for Sarsfield.
Yeah, the defending there in Portlaoise is outstanding again.
Yeah.
Pat, they're right behind. They're 6 or 7 behind the ball each time.
Mo.
They're just coming out and close there, Portlaoise. They're all coming back winning the ball.
Yeah. So, here come Portlaoise again. Grania Moran, as we said, further out from the goal, even though the wind is with her. She tries to turn her right. It's a kick that goes inside. Ciara Byrne with that shot. Probably could have taken the time, Angela. Maybe not rushed that a bit.
Yeah, I think her intentions may have been different, but our Sarsfield were solid there in the full back line. A wasted ball pretty much kicked into the Sarsfield's defence. Both teams are quite defensive, actually, Pat.
They are. Alison McAvoy to her older sister Emma. Emma being a stalwart for Laois. She played with her many times, Angela.
Great
for Laois.
great
Absolutely.
attitude, huge communicator on the field. You can see her communicating even now, and that's huge on a field on a day like today.
And Jenny was the final one to get it.
Great player as well.
Now Aisling Bahan here with the ball. Aisling, of course, started her career with Portlaoise, but has been playing good for years with O'Moores and won a county medal with them last rightly so, has decided to stay with them to play football as well. No point in going a couple of fields during the week in Fairson. So now this is a danger for, as they head off there, Fiona Dooley can do this all day. His strong runner pops on the side. Ashton Keogh. Ashton will fancy the chance, and Ashton gets the first score. And you would expect anything different, Angela, from Ashton.
A very experienced, but also very accurate player. Great run.
Do you know as well, when she's given a bit of space, Ashton can put them over, you know what I mean? She's so accurate.
Yeah.
And that's what she'll do all day today if she's given that space.
Yeah.
Great score. Great start for Portlaoise.
Amy Lockman takes a short kick out. Rachel Williams is behind her, but she palms across the ball. Rosemary Birmingham is back here to take it up. Rosie pops out to Joyce Dunn. The way blocked in front of her, she has forced to kick it. It's a 50-50 ball, but Megan Dunn wins out on that occasion, and Megan is taken off inside of Laura Marie, the danger person, but she's marked. Megan turns back out again. Joyce Dunn is offering her the support. They're going to go for the corner, tries to get her way through, but the way is blocked really well. Angela, but the Portlaoise defence are really standing up strong to this one.
There's 9 players there back. Ellen Healy is doing great work back in defence. Here she is again coming out with the ball. Really tigerish player.
Absolutely, Ellen, and like her older brother Cahir, a similar defensive tackle is Grania Moore and picks it up in the middle of the field. Grania speculated the ball that was cut out by Sarsfield. Bit adventurous that one. As Aisling Bahan across the Mags, and Mags sets it up for Alison McAvoy. Alison now, the options, look, when she looks inside a lot of green and white jerseys in there, really, the options out there, Angela, so they're not, as you said, Portlaoise are funneling back.
Their midfielder covering back also. Grania Moran's quite far up the field as well.
Yeah.
So
here's a run by Mags McAvoy. She'll never go, but I say she's going to try and find a player. She does turn on her right. An excellent score by Mags McAvoy to cancel out what was a great score from Aisling Keogh.
Yeah, it was a great score there. Like, you know, Mags powered in through the middle, and that's what she'll do. And you know, Mags seems to be getting fitter every year she's playing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, yeah.
The years.
Aoife Hyland-Conlon with the kick out. That hops over the Sarsfield player. Aisling Keogh first to it and wins it. She'll be tackled by Emma inside the goals. Portlaoise now trying to make the attack.
Aisling Keogh seems to be part of every move here up front for Portlaoise.
Yeah, here's Fiona Dooley now. She can rifle this, and if she gets in close, that's only one thing she's going for. It was saved by Becky Williams. Not sure she knew much about it, but she got it anyway. And Fiona Dooley would normally bury those. As Rachel Williams comes out. Back to Mags McAvoy, going to try and settle it. They'll have known that they were lucky to get away with that one, Angela, probably.
They're unlucky. It was a great run by Fiona. It's a pity she didn't finish a little bit sooner. Too far out.
Grania Moore doing great work out there. Again, tackling strongly. To Shauna Jackson. Jackson across to Alison Taylor. Taylor looking out to take on the kick. Turns back out again. Sarah Ann up there. She'll fancy a chance. Leah Lockman, which she fancied, running into a big crowd of Sarsfield player, and they're forced back out. Sarsfield is stoutly defending. Grania Moore goes to the kick, but that has, I think someone got a hand on it because Brendan Hickey has indicated that's the 45. Both teams defending.
Both teams
ferociously.
huge numbers behind the ball there. 9 players again for Sarsfield behind the ball.
Yeah, we can look at it here as it comes back to replay. Came across the field. Fiona Dooley took off. You would fancy her there, Angela, as you said, going straight through. Becky got her hands hit, but
she was coming in kind of at a tight angle there, you know, I suppose.
Yeah.
She kind of hated it for hope more than anything. Just as well, Pat, I noticed there, Amy Lockman's gone on Shauna Jackson, I suppose she beat Portlaoise's
yes.
You know, most scoring forward. She scored 2-7 against Connacht the last day. And on the other end, I see Aisling Saunders has gone in on Laura Marie Marr. Laura Marie's gone out to centre forward. So there's a few kind of man-marking jobs there.
And ball dropped in, but it was conceded another. Just Becky, as we said before, is not your natural goalie, and maybe she'd left that one wide. That would have been the better option.
She's been doing very well for Sarsfield and throughout the championship so far. The last day against Connacht, she was the hero of the day.
Yeah. So the numbers are hard to feel, but it looks like it's Ciara Byrne to second this one again. Am I right?
Shauna Jackson, I think.
Pat,
yeah.
Okay. That's an excellent kick. In the goals, Taylor drops aside. Rachel Williams gets it, releases behind her. Fiona Dooley. Alison in like a light and finishes off. And Alison has done that before many times, Angela.
Yeah, excellent dispossession there. Rachel Williams thought she had Portlaoise are very hungry for the ball here today. You can see it on the field, but both teams are quite defensive at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, it's only 2 points to 1 at the minute. So.
Yeah. Now Rachel Williams from the sharp kick out. Sarsfield trying to break away from the pressure of Portlaoise putting the kick out, and the players out here to the right, and they do find one. One of them is Ashton behind, and she sets off really strong. It's followed by Ellen Healy, who would have played with each other years ago. But Joyce Dunn now in the middle of the field. She's looking up to see the options. Lorna O'Sullivan is inside free to pop her off, but they don't. Joyce Dunn back to Laura Marie. Laura Marie's the real threat. That's a great block by Sarah Fleming from Portlaoise, and that could have been dodgy, or could have been danger. Angela,
I think when they see Laura Marie, two people were straight onto her. She is the main person for Sarsfields. Both feet, very, very talented footballer.
Yeah.
Calm on the ball. She's everything. She's experienced. She's great attitude. She's everything really, a footballer.
Back as well, she had 2 cruciate injuries in 2 years, and she's got back and she seems to be as fit as ever this year. So it's great.
Joyce Dunn looking for the options. She was going to go long, now she's going to go sharp at Laura Marie. This is an old trick of the old book. Laura runs back as if she's taking it and passes back to Joyce. So the whole possession, they're going to try and work it in, not confident enough, but out here it comes to Amy Lucan. She's been throwing a Dooley in front of her. She turns her left and right. She's going inside. Megan Dunn looking for it now. Megan maybe got away with maybe a little step too far. Lorna O'Sullivan is out. She's not going to try to kick it. Ashley Mahan going through. Ashley Mahan takes on the kick. And that goes to the left and wide. Again, their patience are as they always have been, and they'll only go, I suppose, when the thing is on.
Ashley Mahan is actually having a great game there, wing forward at the minute.
So Fiona Dooley takes a sharp kick out from Aoife Highland Conlon. And a brace, Gráinne Moore back here. An awful lot of ball early on, but that's the game they're playing. Stephen Duff has them. They're all back trying to make the break, move along, and Alison Taylor got been fouled.
I'm not too sure. I think Gráinne Moore is wing forward, but she's coming out quite well.
Isn't she? Yeah, she's.
Sorry, that's Amy Byrne was fouled there. Just caught the fight, but anyway. When we're taking Ashley Keogh, she heads off on those runs of her. She'll always run and sort of protect the ball and look for the better option. Leah Lockman on it now. Again, they're trying to put the ball inside her, thinking about it, she's not. Going to try to run herself, but this is it. Emma McAvoy's there ahead of her, Ashing outside. Sarah Ann, John, jinking around. Across the comes Sean Jackson, Alison Taylor, and the kick.
It might be with this point, maybe she would carry the thing back there.
Yeah.
A number of defenders back there. Both sets of backs are playing similar style.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard to break it down for any forward there.
Becky Williams again, the short kick out. Amy Lockman didn't get it, but it broke to Jackson. Jackson to Ashley Keogh. Ashley behind. This could be danger. Absolutely. Leah Lockman on. No, Leah outside to Ellen Healy. Great save by Becky Williams again. Point blank. Out she comes and wins the free for her. There was huge danger there, and Portlaoise should be disappointed they didn't capitalise on that.
Yeah, very bad. They had their chance there, and they were patient, but it just went over her head. And I suppose Becky Williams again there, she saved it for her.
I think the too many options. There was 3 lining up to take the goal there.
Alison McAvoy takes another short kick out from Becky Williams, who's been very busy so far. They're trying to work it out from deep. Rachel Williams trying to break through, and she does break through 3 or 4 players. Will they get the space if they switch it to this side, which they're looking at it open as Emma has it. Emma across to Ava Lawler, who picks it on. She goes up through the middle, but they're constantly looking to see what's ahead. Their best players have been marked out, but could they get a chance here? As Claire Conlon, who's a dangerous player with the ball, any time when she gets it, she's going to set up, but she has huge pace if she gets running. Pops it back out, went over the head of Megan Dunn. And Ellen Healy cleared it up, and across. Sarah Ann will get to that. Sarah Ann now looking up at the gloves on the match. She must be expecting rain. But anyway, she goes through, breaks through 2 players, pops it off. Fiona Dooley gets it. Max McAvoy in close attention. A speculative ball inside to Jackson. Jackson trying to go on her left boot. It didn't work this time. It's gone across. And Becky Williams has gone out there to pick it up on her own. Just a bit of breakdown there, Andrew. The kind of the final stuff isn't really happening from, is it?
No, and I think they're nearly over carrying the ball. They need to give it into the full forward line. Like they're giving Sarsfield's defenders time to get back. And they'll be a little bit disappointed they're not up by more, I think. Yeah,
absolutely. Emma McAvoy now, she'll start running again. They've started a lot of runs from deep, and they're trying to make a lot of ground. It's a tiring game they're playing, but Max McAvoy's on it. Aisling Bohan picks that up, who was unmarked at the time, and quick ball in, as you said. Lauren O'Sullivan goes off her hands there, but out comes Claire Conlon. Ball over the middle. That was a speculative ball. That was a bit ambitious to try and think that Laura Marie was going to get that, as Portlaoise cleared the lines again now. Gráinne Moore let it drop though, but Rosemary Birmingham straight onto it. Claire's outside her, back to Joyce Dunn. They'll settle again and try and get the ball rolling again, as we say. Mags is in the middle there waiting for it. She pops it across to Megan Dunn. Laura Marie. Outside here now is Aisling Bohan to Joyce Dunn. Joyce going in. She's turning back around in her left boot. Decides not to go for it. Laura Marie missed it. Laura O'Sullivan. Was there a free indicated? I'm not sure. I think it looks like the way players are going is a free out, or is it
I'm not sure
for pulling? I think it's actually a free, and he didn't point. Yeah. So look, he thought he was signalling a throw, but anyway, must be something pulling.
Yeah, I think both teams are very slow build up into the forward pack.
Yeah.
But look, the defenders are getting back and they're doing really well on both sides. So,
yeah. So Claire Conlon is starting, or going to attempt this kick. Will be heading shortly to the first water break. Claire want to throw back level. Has she been successful? She has. And that brings them back. Sarsfield's 2 points, Portlaoise 2 points. 15 minutes gone as he calls for the water break, right on whistle the 15 minutes. So Angela, both teams, defending firstly and then see what way their game plan is going to work out.
Yeah.
Tighten the scoreboard, but tighten the field also.
Yeah, it's very tight. I think Portlaoise should be a little bit disappointed they haven't had a goal there. The at least two goal chances there. The second one, there was actually 3 girls lined up to take it, and they nearly didn't know who to give it to. I think Becky Williams saved both. Were kicked at her, to be honest. But back to Sarsfield, they're just that little bit more patient on the ball. But look, passes are going astray for them too.
Yeah, and Mose, have you anything that you picked up there? Kind of many wides or anything? Or
they've had them chances, but at the same time, Sarsfields are pushing them out. So and the same on Portlaoise end, they're clogging up the back. I see Brian Moore who's moving forward. She's coming back into the half back line.
Yeah.
So it's a very defensive game. I do think Portlaoise though will be that little bit disappointed to be that more ahead.
Yeah.
Even a goal,
Absolutely, yeah. And I suppose with that breeze, we can't underestimate it. It looks strong enough on the far side of flags, blown from the town end down to the Abbey Leaks end. So it would favour Portlaoise this time, as Aoife Highland-Conlon gets to restart the game. After the water break, and that's a really, really short kick out. But anyway, it works out for them. Sarah Fleming picks up, and out to the wing it goes. Portlaoise now head off. Sarsfield is backing off them, not really tackling at the moment. Looks like Ciara Byrne is it, or is that Alison Taylor still going. Joyce Dunn goes for now, and Joyce going to hand on the ball. There's Aisling Keogh is there. Aisling could turn on the right thing outside to Fiona Dooley. Fiona, will she go for the kick? She tries to work her way through onto the left boot. Fiona Dooley goes. But the first score, excellent score, and that really settled Portlaoise now again after the water break.
And that was off Fiona's left foot, it was a great score there. She was patient with it and over the bar.
Aisling Keogh is fantastic there. She's brilliant.
Amy Lokeman takes the kick out from Becky Williams. Back inside it comes to Rosemary Birmingham. The wing is clear ahead of her, but she pops it over to Jenny McAvoy, but she mightn't make it as Ellen Healy, who's been tackling ferociously all day, gets back and dispossesses her onto Fiona Dooley now. Portlaoise have the gander up, and Sarah Ann totally left unmarked. She'll cover some ground. She goes straight in, she's going to turn in her left now, she goes to right, pops the thing, and that's a wonderful score, Angela, you have to say, really, from Portlaoise point of view.
Brilliant, but it's back to Ellen Healy's like a tiger back there in the back. She seems to be playing midfield back, and Fiona Dooley's doing the opposite, midfield forward, so they have a good kind of understanding between each other there.
And all of a sudden they double their lead. It's now 4 points to 2 just after resumption of the water break, just a minute gone into it. So Portlaoise making it full advantage of the wind, but it's not the wind that's doing it, as their tenacious tackling is what's doing it at the moment. But Mags McAvoy is the ball middle of the field now after getting their kick out, but she goes back to Rachel Williams, gets it, and Alison McAvoy, but Rachel sets off. Rachel returned from Abu Dhabi last year to come back and play with Sarsfield last year and stayed, and she still has the ball. She goes around outside Claire Conlon. Claire looking aside. Lorna Sullivan is still unmarked inside her, but she didn't play her on this occasion. Back to Rachel Williams. Slow pace, building up, looking for the break again. Look to see where it'll come. Aisling Bohan out to Joyce Dunn. Mags made a run but didn't get it. Claire Conlon now 3-4 Portlaoise players around her, over carrying referee. Portlaoise defence really strong there, Angela, again.
Do you know what, their defending is just fantastic. Like, they're back in droves there. Ellen Healy again on the ball, and saying every time I look up she's on the ball in the back. So,
That was cut out
Disappointing.
by Ava Lawler. Yeah, wasted chances. Rosemary Birmingham on it. Rosemary wins the free for her troubles as Mags kicks it on to Megan Dunn. Megan goes into the middle again. That's very crowded with Portlaoise players in there. That definitely the free out there as Ellen stood her ground. Stood her ground and was put to the ground by Megan.
And Grania Moran's doing great work on this wing here as well. She's getting back as well. No, they're tigerish and they're hungry. You can see
Claire Dunn starts it off again now to Grania Moran. Grania side to Ellen. Ellen over here to Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann seems to be free most of the time, Angela, every time we look.
Yeah, great carrier of the ball as well. Both left and right, weaving in and out there.
So Emma McRae tried to get her, but she brushes her aside back to Aisling Keogh. Aisling with a speculative kick, but it just gone to left and wide. But you know, if you were a Sarsfield manager, you know, you should be worrying about leaving Sarah Ann, and she looks to be free the last two occasions.
She needs to be marked a lot tighter. Like the last point she scored was something I think any man would be proud of scoring.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Very stylish footballer.
So Becky under Ava Lawler dropped it. Comes to Aisling Keogh. Aisling will punish this now, try and punish it. She's trying to go on her left, she turns back on her right, she doesn't take on the kick. Fiona Dooley's inside her. Fiona now scored down earlier from the left. Will she do the same? And she wins her free. And again, tenacious working, but the Sarsfield is struggling with their kick out now big time, and they're under savage pressure with that.
And I think you made the point there, Pat, about Sarah, and they need to put somebody on her. She's causing serious damage there, carrying the ball in.
As well, Pat, like the pressure Portlaoise forwards are putting on Sarsfield's kick out. Do you know what I mean? They're all over them. You know, they're pushing up and, you know, they're winning. They're turning over huge possession there.
This is to go 5 points to 2 up, and I'm sure as that's the commentators' course is what they call it. That was yeah, I think was it Shauna? Yeah, Shauna Jackson. Yeah, yeah, here 12. Yeah, so Becky Williams again. They probably left off with a few stuff so far. Sarsfield. Now they're trying to move it. Emma McVie now. She'll put a stamp on it. Rachel Williams. Some of the experienced stock with it, but they broke it down again. Great work by Alison Taylor. Fiona Dooley. She's straight down through the middle. Aisling Keogh out here. Aisling nearly gets it. She'll pull on the ground with it. Yes, she does, and buries the ball in the net.
She'll be delighted with that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. The whole of Portlaoise should be delighted with that, and that was well worked.
The tackling from Alison Taylor, the little flick in with her hand, absolute brilliant tackle. Brilliant tackle.
And richly deserved their scoreline, Angela, this case, Portlaoise really did.
The goals there for the last 20 minutes at least.
Joyce Dunn now tries to re-kick Sarsfield's attempt to try and claw back some of this lead. This has quickly built up since the water break, but they won't do it with that. That's a dangerous. That was a hard ball into Emma, but she managed. Her experience got it as Mags taps it out here to Ava Lawler, across here to Rosemary Birmingham now. Rosemary faced by Grania Moran, who's done a great work on her. Ava Lawler back out again. Mags coming for it. Mags McVie going to try and take it and run, but Ellen Healy standing in front of her. Megan Dunn or Laura Marie Marr. Laura was adjudged to have been fouled. I think it was Aisling Saunders back there. Aisling seems to be holding her. A lot of her friends be looking in. Aisling, of course, and her younger brother Gary, who plays the Portlaoise team, and
really nipply kind of.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And like Gary, she'd always say she's far better football than Gary, and she is. Absolutely is. He got absolutely. She's absolutely immense back there. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I know all her friends will be looking in there. A few out in Abu Dhabi and all that looking in. So she's got a little bit of attention, I think. There maybe got a little
and she's a big
tip for herself.
Too,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And she'll do it. That's what she'll do. So look, as a little break there, we'll look. Sarsfield have a free. They're going to badly need this, Angela. Rather, that's the understatement of the year, because really, you know, they're 23 minutes gone, and they're trailing by 5 points. But look, I suppose they won't panic yet.
No, they won't panic. No. That's one thing about their game; they never panic, and it just shows their experience too. But look, Portlaoise are exceptional.
Full value for it.
They're really doing well.
Yeah. Claire takes on the kick. That's going to the bit to the right. Is it gone to the right and wide? So now Aoife Highland Conlon now with the kick, starting to kick out again. That goes short to Claire Dunn. Claire Dunn out here to Amy Byrne. Amy inside to Claire Dunn again. And Portlaoise moved around to Ellen Healy on it now, and she quickly moves that ball forward. Will they get Portlaoise to get that bounce overhead? And onto it is Alison McAvoy. Alison to Joyce Dunn. Joyce now looking up. They have to. Rosemary Birmingham's out here looking for it. Being tracked by Grania Moran. Options still not on. They're looking, waiting patiently. When they look up, there's a sea of green and white ahead of them. Laura Marie's coming out a bit further up now, trying to get on the ball. That's the hard ball into Megan Dunn, and that slips away from Megan's hands.
Ashton Saunders did well there. Grania Moran's covering great space there.
Laura Marie on it now, back to Megan Dunn. That came off a throw. Laura Marie Marr popped aside. Lauren O'Sullivan. Sarsfield, they get the score to Aisling Bohan. Well blocked there inside that was, but it still breaks out to Lauren O'Sullivan. Lorna fighting for it, she has it. Portlaoise trying their best to keep this out, but Sarsfield still have the ball as they move it across. Rosemary Birmingham now. What does she try? Is she going to go for the kick? No, they're trying to work it in. Lauren O'Sullivan. Aisling Bohan on it again now. Back out to Alison McAvoy, and Alison kicked it with all their play up to now. They've been patient, but that time they weren't patient there, Angela, and that kick they should have waited again.
Portlaoise were disappointed to give away that ball from the line.
Yeah.
But look, nothing became of it anyway.
Claire Dunn under the kick out to Grania Moran, has been on fierce ball across to Fiona Dooley. Fiona, Sarah Ann Fitzgerald now. Still got space to get that ball and turn and play it inside. Aisling Keogh going really hard for it. Emma McAvoy behind her. Aisling beats two of them and gets it on them. Great play by her. But Sarsfield player got in. Was there free there? There was. The referee has blown the whistle. Not sure did he signal a throw up, but Aisling Keogh really fought hard for that.
Really showing her heart out there. You know, I have to say over the years she's playing a long time now. Even though she's quite young. Yeah. But she's a huge part of that Portlaoise club, and she's really central to all their movement in the forwards. Yeah. Particularly her, Alison Taylor is coming on very well there as well, up the wing, far away.
Showing for it, like Aisling is showing for every ball there. She's on in the McAvoy.
So Joyce, Jenny McAvoy and Sarah Ann worked it out, but anyway, Alison McAvoy clears the lines now. Across Rosemary Birmingham now, 2 or 3 tackling. Maybe she stayed running with the free, but she got the free. Mags McAvoy now. Eva Lawler, Grania Moran in front of her. Rosemary Birmingham. Aisling Bohan unmarked at this stage, but Portlaoise track back and they'll wait till Aisling arrives them to take her on. And that was intercepted there. Cross to Mags McAvoy. Mag out to Eva Lawler. Laura Marie a bit far out as Mags tried to get the run going. Megan Dunn across Laura Marie now. She breaks 2 through 3 tackles, but there's 5 of them ahead of Portlaoise. They divert her back out. Lauren O'Sullivan takes the kick. And that's out of nothing really. That was a great score, Angela, in fairness to pressure she was under, Lorna.
Yeah, and it started back here with Rosemary Birmingham making the run, but Portlaoise seems to be, they're not actually marking their players. They're kind of doing a zone defence patch. And it's very difficult for Sarsfield to get through. They're on the D there in front of the goals each time.
As Ellen Healy got that kick out, and Mags McAvoy was judged to have been overzealous at her tackle and wins the free and was brought forward. So Portlaoise start off again with their run. Alison McAvoy was deflected. Still going. She said, look to be a charge. The referee says no. Dislocation, absolutely, yeah. As Alison Taylor won the free there. Brendan Hickey said there was no free before that, so.
That's a real trait of Alison Taylor, that soloing up the wing, you know, and her speed, she's probably one of the fastest lady footballers I know in Laois anyway.
Aisling Keogh looking for this short option, not really happening. She's going to go back with it to Amy Byrne. Amy to Fiona Dooley now. Fiona to Grania Moran. Again, they go back into middle where the crowd is. Aisling Keogh comes back out, takes it, has a good shot at it, but unfortunately goes left and wide for her. Again, they'll be happy. That's seen as that all right, it's a missed chance, but it's still Portlaoise should be happy to have the ball, and they're trying to make inroads there.
Yeah, they have a lot of opportunities too, Pat. That's another wide. That's the 3rd wide of the 2nd wide for Portlaoise.
Rachel Williams picked up the kick out, and Mags McAvoy has an out. So again to Emma. So they're slowly building up against Sarsfield all the way from behind to Alison McAvoy. So when they look up to see all their players are being tightly marked, and Alison got by. That's a ball across to Lorna, who got the point there a while ago. Back to Laura Marino. They're expecting so much, and now it opens up for her. It opens up here, danger on here. Laura Marie and one thing of mine, and that's it. And that's what we talked about. Portlaoise stood back that time. Angela would be guilty of that, wouldn't it?
But Laura Marie Meyer, give her any space at all. Left foot, right foot, she has both. A real leader, Pat.
Yeah. The Sarsfield crowd sensing a little bit of a comeback, I suppose. They know there's plenty of time there left. As Gráinne Moran decks the kick out from Ellen Healy. And Ashley Saunders now doing a run up the field. See, she's enough done on Laura Marie at the moment. And now Sarah Ann free again out here. Emma McRae tries to make the gap to her. Sarah going to turn inside to left, pops it behind to Jackson. Shauna Jackson with a kick, but that goes off her right boot and to the wide. Maybe Shauna's just not firing as she was the last day at this point in time yet.
She's had a few little, she seems a little bit nervous there.
Not getting into even with the free that she missed. I think she's. Look, there's time yet. I think she will get into it.
Becky Williams again now. It comes all the way out here. As Ava Lawler picks it up and the full back pops it across to Amy Lockman and Amy to Rosemary Birmingham now. Portlaoise trying to track back and they do. Amy Lockman now is free. Now the gap's opening up from it. She's going right through the middle. No one coming to her. Portlaoise was chasing her. They were a bit guilty there. Megan Dunn inside again. That's an exit kick. That's dangerous. So well saved inside her. She had to really be sharp on that one. Aoife Highland. That was one of those dirty ones. Angela, that drops over your head. Yeah.
It's a hard one for any goalie to save. It often happens in every football.
Well, Sarsfield through Aisling Bohan after picking up the kick out. Danger on here now. Rosemary Birmingham goes back in the middle. She pops it out here to Megan Dunn, who's free. Megan trying to get on the left boot, takes a kick, but that's gone to the left and wide. But Sarsfield kind of upped it in the last couple of minutes, haven't they?
I think that Lorna Sullivan scored that free or that point in play, and then when Laura Marie got that score, they've really upped it now.
And they're running at the Portlaoise defence the last couple of minutes.
Yeah. Kicks out there, and Joyce Dunn got that kick out. Gráinne Moran wasn't able to get her hands on that one, so Joyce just steadies. Mags is outside her, I'm sure, giving her plenty instruction on what to do and where to go. Back it comes to Rosemary. Rosemary done an awful lot of ball today, kind of settling stuff back from here from Portlaoise. Aisling backs away there. Norma Sullivan again. On to Alison McAvoy. Alison trying to break through. Laura Marie on it now. Back out it comes. Rosemary. Mags tried to get the run. Again, Alison McAvoy kicks it inside. Aisling Bohan on. Back outside to Claire Conlon. Claire trying to get the space to get the shot off, but she's turned back around again by the Portlaoise defence. Lauren O'Sullivan, but she tried what she did earlier. She takes the kick, and another excellent score from Lauren O'Sullivan. And we were probably wondering why she was a little bit out from goal, but I think that tells it all, Angela, what she can do.
She's well able to take those long range scores, and she really has to bring them back into it in the last 7 minutes or so.
Aoife Highland Conlon with the kick out, but again the way it was blocked, and Portlaoise lucky enough on that occasion kind of win the free out, which has maybe settled their nerves as we've nearly gone into 2 minutes of additional time. We no indication how much there'll be. Gráinne Moran under that. Sarsfield will want to score before the half, and they could get it here. Now Laura Marie's on it, pops on his side. This is a dangerous ball. As Amy Lockman has it, well blocked by Portlaoise to got across. Amy Lockman was in on goals. Maybe you wanted Laura Marie on it as Brendan Hickey blows half-time score.
I think Portlaoise did well there. Sarah Fleming made a great block.
Yeah.
Interception, but
here we see it here in the replay. So they picked up here a couple of moves inside, and I suppose Amy Lockman was on it, and a great block inside by Portlaoise. Not sure what it was.
Sarah Fleming, yeah.
Sarah Fleming, yeah. She put in a couple of great blocks.
Yeah.
So we leave it. The half-time score is 1-4 for Portlaoise, 4 points for 5 points for Sarsfield. Only 2 point in Angela, I suppose. With all the ball that Portlaoise, I suppose, we would thought they've had, they're still only 2 points up on the county champions at this stage.
Yeah, and I think Sarsfield are starting to actually run at them now. They're running at them. At the start, it was very much static, and they had kind of a zonal defence in the Portlaoise, but now they're starting to really run at them, and they're actually creating problems. And Portlaoise had plenty of opportunities up here, as I said earlier. They've had 4 wides in the last 15 minutes, which is, opportunities that could have. Sometimes I think they're going for the long range score.
Yeah.
Maybe carrying it in is probably a better option for them at times here. And the wind is completely died down.
Yeah.
Water advised that exit from the ground is out onto the aggregate road only, and not out onto the ground. So if you're exiting the car park after the match as well, the exit
So Mo, just before we go to the break there, and people can head off for a cup of tea. We're not, but we're going to stay glued to this. You know, what can Stephen Duff be saying? He presumably he'll be happy enough with that, but
yeah,
the last few minutes
definitely
will cause him a little worry.
Absolutely, Pat. Do you know, the last 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, Sarsfield have been running at them there, and they have been causing problems. Lauren O'Sullivan scored a great point there, because there is a bit of a wind that they're against as well. But look, I mean, they're still up by 2 at half time here, and they'll come out in the second half again and they'll be well up for it. But I think as well they could be kicking themselves. Just missed a couple of chances there, them 2 goal chances, the free Shauna Jackson, just some little bits they feel probably like they should be up by more,
So it probably looks like that when Sarsfield get up, the opportunities they get, they're probably taking them. That's the experience,
and you have to take your chances against Sarsfield. You know what I mean? Like they are going to come out all guns blazing now. They have been on top. Maybe Portlaoise will be delighted to get the half-time break there because Sarsfield were gaining all the momentum. So look, it's an exciting second half ready here anyway.
Yeah. So we'll take a break here for a minute or two, and we'll be back to you shortly with the second half of what's going to be proved to be going to be a really tough battle, I think, between these 2 great teams. Welcome back to MW Hire O'Moore Park for the Laois Ladies Senior Football Championship Final. Kindly sponsored and brought to you live, streaming free by John Adams Car Sales, main Citroen and Honda dealer in Ballymac and Portlaoise. And again, we thank John Adams and his family for their support of ladies football and support for today. As both Sarsfields here, who went in with a 2-point deficit against Portlaoise, to score 1-4, Sarsfields 5 points. They're coming back out on the field. Sarsfields and Portlaoise huddled in the corner. Angela, that little breeze now is going to favour Sarsfields. What do you think of the second?
It's hard to know from here, because often when you're playing it, it's different when you're on the field, and it's actually coming back again. It kind of died there, but I think Portlaoise now, they have their drawing board, they have their whiteboard out there.
They have, yeah.
They're doing everything right.
Yeah.
Just a few little things going wrong there that they could have had more opportunities. But Sarsfields probably did finish the strongest there at the end of the half. So I'd say Portlaoise would glad to see the whistle at half time there.
Yeah. So no changes that we see. Mo, you might keep an eye on that if there's any changes.
No, they're lining up the same again as what it was from the start. So there's a few interesting matchups. I think Aisling Saunders is doing a great job on Laura Marie.
Absolutely, she is. Yeah.
1 point so far, and that's not an easy job, So it's all to play for here in the second half.
Yeah. So it's Fiona and Ellen Healy and Fiona Dooley, Portlaoise, in the middle of the field with Joyce Dunn and Mags McAvoy. The same pairings for the throw-in from Brendan Hickey. Starts the second half. Again, brought to you by John Adams Car Sales in Ballymac and Portlaoise. And Mags McAvoy is the first to win that break there. She gets away from Ellen Healy. Back to Joyce Dunn. Joyce Dunn looking up, not on. Quick option side to Claire Conlon, who looks to be gone full forward now. Claire turns back out on her left, back out to right. Joyce Dunn across here to Lauren O'Sullivan, who's got a few in the first. She's dangerous. Portlaoise left her. They got her hands to it. Was that a far? No, it didn't. I thought someone got a touch on it, but obviously not.
She should be disappointed with that pass.
Yeah, she would, yeah. Aisling Saunders, I think, got close on her to cut down it, but Aoife Highland Conlon now kicks out the ball. Goes aside to Fiona Dooley. They're going to probably go short now with that wind. Obviously, it's a bit stronger than we're judging up here. Comes back to Amy Byrne. Claire Dunn, sorry. And Sarah Fleming across. So it's a bit congestion inside there for them as Rosemary Birmingham commits the free. And Portlaoise look to move it on. Byrne across now. Fiona Dooley, she loves this space. She'll stretch it out there like an athlete. She'll run and run, but hook is better. But that was huge block by Jenny McAvoy. That was so important.
That was a massive interception there, Pat.
That was going to be dangerous, yeah. Mags McAvoy steadies up now. Laura Marie now. She's a bit more space. Ashling's a bit away from her. Ellen Healy trying to go. Laura Marie Maher takes the kick, and that's a super score. And again, we talked about giving her room there. She really punched him that time, Angela.
Yeah, she's such a leader on the field, Pat. She did the same just before half time. Now when they really need to score, she was the one that popped up.
So Ciara Byrne got the kick out. Sarah Fleming now going through the middle. Lauren O'Sullivan trying to track her. Sarah Fleming, good control of the ball. Breaks and turns it back out to Fiona Dooley, who was offering support now. Portlaoise look to build it up. They're looking, but there's a wall inside, but that's a big ball inside to Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann turns aside. Aisling Keogh takes a kick, but it's gone a bit low for her. She would have probably gone for the point, but it didn't work out for her. As Emma McAvoy tries to steady the ship for Sarsfields and move them back out again. Ava Lawler on it, turns out the wing. Rosemary Birmingham, a huge amount of ball was on in the first half. On it again as Rachel Williams pops it across, but they were waiting for that. Amy Lockman got it when Rosemary comes and picks it up again. Inside to Mags now. Mags McAvoy. The spaces seem to be open up. Doesn't seem to be as congested Portlaoise in this half, but that's the ball inside that Sarah Fleming is going to mop up, and she did untackle as Ellen Healy is there again to claim it and start the ball rolling again for Portlaoise as they work from deep outside. Rosemary Birmingham tried to put in a tackle, but Ellen just danced by her. Coming outside there to Amy Byrne across here to Fiona Dooley. Fiona real strong down through the middle there. That's a quick ball inside to Jackson, Shauna Jackson now. We haven't seen much of in the first half, she's a couple of times, but this with the pace, she turns back in and on her left boot, turns back out on the right, she turns back out again. Outside to Aisling Keogh. Aisling will settle it and won't panic yet. Here comes Ellen Healy with a run, but it goes across to Sarah Ann. Sarah Ann for sure tries the kick, but that goes uncharacteristically to the right, and White probably didn't need to rush that one, Angela. Probably could have steadied.
I could have carried it like they were quite patient too.
Right, yeah. So Portlaoise seem to be making a sub. Number 24,
Kirsten Keenan coming on there.
Yeah.
And coming on for Grania Moore, which I'm actually a bit surprised at. I thought Grania had a great first half.
Yeah,
But
Kirsten.
look, unless she has a bit of an injury or maybe.
Yeah, Grania Moore was put back in a
Yeah.
defensive position, I suppose, and
I think
really,
she'd be disappointed
really left it
now.
all out there. Yeah.
Very surprised.
Yeah, Kirsten got a goal the last time when she came on, but anyway, Portlaoise start off the attack again. That's to Shauna Jackson inside. Now Leah Lockman. Leah, she turned back on the left, back outside to Ellen Healy. Healy still going through, takes a shot, and that's gone over the bar.
That's a super score by Ellen Healy. Pat. She's in the backs, she's up in the forward, she's
Yeah.
everywhere. She, you know, her leadership is similar to her brother in her leadership and passion for
Absolutely,
football.
yeah, yes. We'll leave everything on the field as the Grania Moore who went off there. In fairness, really tried really hard. As Alison McAvoy picks up the kick out and comes to Aisling Bohan. Aisling back to Rachel Williams and Rachel up to Joyce Dunn. The gap is here now. Ellen calling for help back here for someone to come back because there's two running at her. But Joyce Dunn gone to the middle. Turns back, Ellen turned her back there. In fairness, great work, but she pops inside a speculative ball inside to Claire Conlon. Claire takes on the kick. Is that gone over the bar? No, it's gone to the left and wide according to the umpire. And this now the pace is picked up on this Angela as Aoife.
I see Aisling Bohan gone on to Fiona Dooley there,
Yeah.
Pat, now.
Oh, yeah.
Gone midfield.
So Portlaoise, it looks like Alison is back to Taylor. Back to Amy Dunn. Claire Dunn. Out here to Claire Byrne, to Ciara Byrne. Ciara Byrne up through the middle now. Outside to Sarah Ann Fitzgerald. Sarah Ann, the runner is ahead of her, she finds her. And a great tackle there, and the referee deemed that was a free. Maybe there was he's signalling there was a hand on the back, but it looks like
She was a bit disappointed about that. I thought she
Yeah.
just won the ball off her, but look, it's a free.
absolutely, yeah.
That came from Sarah Ann on her solo run again. I think she's after making about 5 or 6 solo runs in the whole game. I think
Yeah.
really Sarsfield want to be watching her.
Leah Lockman now steps up, who's generally their free taker most of the time. You know, Shauna Jackson took a few in the first half. Leah bouncing the ball now and having a look at this. I'm sure she'll pop this over and stretch her lead out to 3 points. And she does that quite decisively. So that's with 5 minutes gone, it's nearly 6 minutes gone the second half. Portlaoise 1-6, Sarsfield, the title holder 6 points. A lot to go as this ball comes out to Mags McAvoy, who takes the kick out cleanly. He's back into the middle there. Emma McAvoy coming up to support her now. Aisling Bohan back to Rachel Williams. Rachel looking, but her way is blocked up. There's that girl Ellen Healy there again. But Rachel comes out on this occasion. Aisling Bohan back to Rachel Williams. Rachel still going. Claire Conlon looking for it in the middle. Rachel turns back out. Aisling Bohan, but a free to Sarsfield for Ellen. Puts her hand up, I think, and acknowledges that might have been her on that occasion.
Yeah, they were lucky there. I think there was a travel.
Yeah. So Claire Conlon, I'd say she's looking for a short option, Angela, I'm sure. Although it doesn't look like
Hard to
Sarsfield. Yeah, there's only a couple of them in there. There seems to be a lot more Portlaoise players in there. Sarsfield maybe just staying back and keeping an eye on the house, as we call it. But Claire steps up and steps into the middle of her left boot, takes on the kick, but that could drop short, is it not? That's excellent.
Great
That's
score.
talk about measuring a point, a score, Angela. That was badly
Yeah,
needed, I suppose,
she
in
took her
Sarsfield.
time and she has great accuracy.
And that quickly broke down to him, but that had to be done by Claire Dunn, really imparting the deception from a free kick that went to skew for them. And suddenly now they're on the attack, Portlaoise, and they really can thank Claire Dunn for on that particular occasion. Now they're going Portlaoise, they're moving outside. Aisling Keogh was free out there. She's going to go on her right boot, take the shot, and that looks like that's an excellent score. And Aisling Keogh again, super work from her.
Yeah, she's been a real leader again on the field today, Pat. We spoke about her before the game, you know. She's one of the real senior players and she's showing it out in the field today.
As Rebecca Redden makes her way onto the field for Portlaoise, we thought she'd been injured before that, but Ciara Byrne started ahead of her, but Rebecca Redden comes in, and I think she's coming on for Claire Dunn. Yeah, now I thought Claire Dunn had done well as well. In fairness, she saved them there the last time when that kick out. But anyway, that's why managers are there to do that job, and they're seeing something that we're not, obviously. But anyway, Becky Williams takes the kick out again now. That's coming. Aisling Bohan on these two Portlaoise players by her. Who wins it? And Ellen Healy again, the player of the day so far, that's mopped up that and really got in. She got tackled, absolutely hit late after the free, and rightly so. Brendan Hickey brings in the free from where the ball lands, and Ellen just jumps up and says to the physio, "You're grand." Absolutely super work.
She's been everywhere. Ellen's been in the full back line, the half back line. She got a pint earlier, and that's what she does. She's tenacious in the
absolutely,
tackle.
yeah. You'd expect nothing different, yeah.
And she'd no right to win that ball.
None whatsoever.
She came from behind. She's tough as well.
Yeah. So Leah Lockman now could make it 2 out of 2 for herself here. That steady right boot. She hops the ball 3 or 4 times as she'd done the first time. She could probably take 1 or 2 steps into the middle. And that's an excellent kick for Portlaoise and for Leah Lockman. That's going to steady them down again as the lead extends to 4 points now.
I think Portlaoise are becoming a little bit more settled now, and they're getting their confidence back at the end of the first half.
Oh, there's a kick out to Shauna Jackson straight onto it. She's going to stay going herself, is she? No, that was I think that was. She got a point. It looked like Shauna Jackson. I'm just trying to read the numbers. Yeah, I think she goal in her mind, I'd say. But again, that's gone to 5 points now. All of a sudden, Portlaoise are up. Sarsfield under pressure. Again, the kick out goes bad for them. Portlaoise win it, and they didn't get the free, but they still have the ball. Inside, Kirsten Keenan got on that one, but Sarsfield's come out with it. Sarsfields are not going to give up yet because they have a lot to be played. There's over 20 minutes still in this game to be played, and their experience to tell us. Roseby Berman comes up outside. Mags McAvoy takes the ball off her. Roseby continuing through, being tackled. Portlaoise player off it goes inside to Lauren O'Sullivan. Fiona Dooley in front of her. Fiona tackling her, turns her back out, and Sarsfield turned back out. Aisling Bohan on it now into Roseby Birmingham. Roseby switching outside to Megan Dunn. Megan got there ahead of the Portlaoise player. Back it comes again to Aisling Bohan. Aisling now.
Portlaoise are pushing them out.
They are pushing him. That's kicked. It forced to kick it in, but it drops aside to Joyce Dunn. Joyce in the unfamiliar territory, the forward line. Claire Conlon. Will she have a go at it? Will she score? The umpires looking at each other, not sure what they're going to decide, and one of them decides it was the wide, and the wide is it.
I think Ciara Byrne will be disappointed she didn't intercept there. She had it in her hands. They're unsure of the score, I think.
Yeah. Now the linesman was calling in, but I think he's.
Leah Tarpey as well is warming up here on the sideline, so I'd say she's going to make an introduction.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she wasn't starting as well, actually. Do you know? She was starting the last day, yeah. She's a great young player.
Yeah. So the linesman and the referee and the thing. Highland Condon now will be looking to try and get a better kick out. That's still short again, and that's nearly undone by Megan Dunn, who was unlucky to get her hands on that, and they're going to have to work on that kick out somewhere. That's too messy from us. Fiona Dooley gets on the ball. Alison Taylor out here to her left. Fiona being swung around, but referee's a hand up, plays on inside 1-on-1. Portlaoise, Leah Lockman, but she's beaten to it by Rachel Williams. Rachel turns and twists and goes beside her. Up the wing here is Aisling Bohan, but she goes back into the middle to Alison McAvoy. Alison across
Rachel Williams
to Jenny McAvoy. Yeah, absolutely. Mags is behind with Jenny McAvoy. Roseby Birmingham, another person behind a load of ball. Laura Marie Marr, bit far out from goal to be a threat to Portlaoise out there, but I'm sure she's just trying to work her way in, and she's got a bit of space with no one taking off her. Goes inside to Megan Dunn. Megan, who was unlucky there while going. Megan turns her player and is still going. She's turning Rebecca Redner, but turns back out. Joyce Dunn on it now. Inside to Megan Dunn. Megan trying to get on the right boot, trying to get to the centre of the goal. She takes the kick, but that's gone to the right and wide. Sarsfield's been forced into missing those now, I would say, Angela, you'd say at this stage, wouldn't you?
Their defending's excellent still, Pat. Like, they're getting back, their midfielders are behind the ball as well. I think Leah Tarpey's coming on here, is she? Not sure.
Yeah, Leah Tarpey there for.
Roseby Birmingham's coming off, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Put in a huge.
She did a big shift there, yeah.
It all out there in fairness, we said one of the many players out there who has won a Camogie county title there 2 weeks ago, but she really has left out and really tried hard. But again, the Portlaoise lucky to get away with the kick out. They won't stay that lucky all day if they keep going that. But Ellen Healy again, who darts through 2 or 3 players with her strength. Ashton Keogh out there, but it bounces away from her. Jenny McAvoy got a hold of it off that. Now Emma McAvoy trying to set up It's all open up here, but it's going out to the middle. Ellen Healy's back there again tackling. Out it comes to Claire Conlon. Claire switches across here to Alison McAvoy. Alison, it drops overhand. She goes back in on the left boot. Does she take the shot, but that's gone to the right and wide. And Sarsfield's missing too much now at this stage.
The McAvoy sisters worked well there together. I think they were trying to push on and try and get the girls back into the game. Unlucky not to score there.
Aoife Hyland-Conlon goes out short again. Portlaoise just about get away with that one as Joyce Sung goes into tackle and concedes the free. Ciara Byrne now up here is that back here was waiting for that, but one of the players goes down and I'm sure they'll be glad of the breather, Angela, I'd say at this stage.
Yeah, but our Sarsfield had 2 wides in a row there, Pat, that were possible times, so they were unlucky there. Alison McAvoy's unlucky with the last score.
Yeah, so Portlaoise 1-9, Sarsfield 7 points, 44 minutes gone. We'll be heading to it as we thank John Adams Car Sales, main Citroen and Honda dealer in Ballymac and Portlaoise for bringing this game live and free to you here, streamed. So John Adams has been a huge supporter of ladies football over the last few years, and we really thank them for their support here today and bringing this game to you. So for the people, the lucky people who got the tickets, Angela, I suppose, and the other people that are sitting at home, there's a lot of them we know tuning in, looking at this game. It's great to hear that ladies football is popular and the people are mad to see who's going to win this.
Yeah, and I have to say the football played here is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great to watch it, and it's a pity more them girls are playing for Laois. Maybe they'll change their minds after today.
Yeah, you'd love to see it because there's outstanding players out there, really. As that breaks down to Lorna Sullivan, but again, Ellen Healy is there to mop it up and come out with it, 2 or 3 around her, and that doesn't faze her.
She's absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely outstanding there today. Again, she is, absolutely. And Brendan Hickey brings it forward for some descent, and I'd say Ellen's going to come up and kick her own free by the look of it. She's even done that. So now they head up looking for where the options is. She goes back it goes to Amy Byrne up through the middle, which it drops out. Amy comes back to Sarah Ann Fitzgerald into Ashton Keogh, who's played phenomenal today again. Leah Lockman go down to Rachel William, wins that, and the free out. Might be an injury there. Leah Lockman is pleading her innocence there to the referee, and
I think it was the kind of seemed to get tangled up there.
I think so, yeah.
Rachel came out well there on that as well. She never pulls up. She's always tenacious.
Rachel absolutely would put her whole heart and soul into that, and she did.
Best back there today.
Definitely.
Huge amount of ball in the background.
She's great pace as well. She can fly up and down that wing. She's great attacking wing back.
I'm sure we'll be heading for a waterway shortly, and as it goes back to Becky Williams and out to Rachel. So Rachel starts off. She's been chased by Leah Lockman. Back to Aisling Bohan to Joyce Dunn. Very close and tight stuff going on at the moment. But Alison McAvoy has it now. She's looking up the line. She can go. Joyce Dunn going aside as she pops it after. Cross comes Ellen Healy. Forced her back in, but Joyce Dunn going back into the middle. They're looking, it's very congested, pops across to Claire Conlon. Claire takes a kick to Speculative, doesn't work out. It nearly worked out, handled on the ground to the referee. That was very unfortunate because she went to the ground, and I'm not sure Aisling Bohan or Aisling Saunders could do a whole lot about that, to be honest with you.
I think she was unlucky there.
Yeah. Look, the referee's there.
Yeah, they're there. Yeah, we have to. No, we can't. No, they're closer to us. But anyway, Claire Conlon won't mind. She'll be delighted because Sarsfield will also be delighted because they'll want to be pegging this back if they have any chance to retain their title. And Claire Conlon puts it over the bar and brings it back to Portlaoise 1-9. Sarsfield's 8 points. As the referee, I think,
another
calls
substitution
now for
here.
The last waterway. Ladies Senior Final. So. Probably some that that's been frenetic enough, we would have thought Sarsfield were going to kick on.
Yeah, Portlaoise got back on top. Yeah, they came out to start the second half, Pat, and they've really pushed on again. They're back up to a 5-point lead there, and you really fancy them now for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, so what could Sarsfield, you both played them, in county finals, and they're not here by default, they won't panic, I presume, but time is starting to run out from now, and that's 5 points.
Remember hunger, as they say. You can see that hunger in Portlaoise.
Yes.
They're not just here today. Like they've been here in 2016, 17, 18. Tim Hall got there last year. Just give a plug there to Tim Hall. Of course, absolutely. I did eventually at the start that you were up in the back. Of course, Tim Hall. But to be fair to them, they really are showing it out there today. And I think they have a lovely style of football. They really do. They don't depend on players.
And this year, they're really reaching their potential. During the week, Stephen Duff was talking on Laois today, and he was saying every year they were thereabouts, but just that extra little push, and that's what they needed today. Absolutely,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And like, just looking back on the stats here, like, Sarsfield haven't scored since the 31st minute. Lauren Marie Martin played. Oh, well, they have scored, but it's 2 frees.
Yeah.
So they're dependent on 2 frees or their last 2 scores. Do you know? But look, I'll never say die with Sarsfield. I know what you like.
They've made a substitution there.
Fiona Dooley's coming off for
Yeah.
Portlaoise again, has run a race.
And Grania Lawler's come on there for Sarsfield as well. I'm not sure
who's gone on for Portlaoise.
I'm not sure who's gone on for Portlaoise.
Now that breaks the Sarsfield. Quick kick out. Again, we worried about that, and we have said, Angela, that Portlaoise have been living on you know, their kick out just hasn't been going well, and they've been very lucky on occasions really to
They've been definitely living on the edge with the kick outs here, just barely making it a couple of times now. They were lucky there. Ciara Byrne fouled, and she was right to foul, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was a goal all over it, written all over it.
So Claire Conlon step up again, as she's done a couple of times just before this.
Third free, you know.
Third free, and that's it, goes up. So now we're back to a goal in it. Portlaoise won 9, Sarsfield 9 points. Sarsfield have got the next 11 or so minutes to retain their title and go for the 8th title in a row. Portlaoise are looking for their first ever, but they're going to do all they can of it.
There's Maeve Phelan.
Oh yeah, Maeve Phelan, an international basketballer along with Sarah Fleming there. No problem with her going. As Alison Taylor gets on the ball, space opening up in front of her. Leah Lockman's aside her. She pops it aside to Phelan. Leah switches play across. Waiting across here was Kirsten Keenan, I think, and she kicked the ball, and she had plenty of time there, Angela. You know, Stephen Duff won't be happy, I said there.
And I think she could have nearly carried it into Pat. She kind of panicked there.
Becky Williams now.
Yeah,
absolutely, Becky Williams had the kick out.
Perhaps she's injured.
Yeah, so that's Grania Lawler, you said, that came on there for Sarsfield. But look who's back to claim the ball, Ellen Healy. We can't stop talking about her all day, but she's absolutely been outstanding.
Without a doubt, my player of the match.
Absolutely, and if Portlaoise win this, they're going to thank Ellen Healy, and that Sarah Ann Fisher goes on it, who hasn't done half bad either, in fairness.
No, she's been a little bit starved to the ball in the second half.
Alison Taylor, again, who's really come to the fore today, and Leah Lockman, who's got on the scoreboard the last few times with a few frees. They've been patient again, the build-up, looking for that run, that option. No one wants to go on. This is where Fiona Dooley's probably missing, because Fiona would come through the middle there and give them like a seam train. But they're playing around with it, they're waiting for the option. And who's on the end of it? Ashton Keogh. She's going for the goal, let's say. She only one thing in her mind, but it comes back out. Inside it goes to Shauna Jackson. Shauna takes the kick, and that's gone to the left and wide when that ball started on the right, but the referee has called for some free, and Portlaoise are going to get a free just 14 metres out. And Sarsfield player looking disbelief at Brendan Hickey, not happy.
I'm not sure myself what it's for.
Yeah, Amy Lockman and them deciding, but the referee has made that decision. And
Leah be confident here, putting to 4 points ahead now. Another push
quite
on.
a young player too.
Leah is,
She's
a minor last year, absolutely, a tremendous player. Next door neighbour of mine, absolutely super player and great person. But here she goes and pops it over the bar, and I think she got the football from her mother, because her father certainly did.
Do you know, she's a great strike of the ball as well. She's so accurate.
Absolutely very accurate. Now Sarsfield have it all to do as Becky Williams tries to kick it out now. 4 points to lead, stretch out. Mags McAvoy trying to get it going. Rachel Williams up here to Ashley Bahan. Ashley Bahan up here to Grania Lawler.
She's a great young player. I saw her playing championship.
And Alison Taylor not letting her by her. Alison twisting and turning her. Laura Marie Marr now. They're going to go across. Mags McAvoy makes the run, pops it across now to the young girl that came in here, Lawler, Grania. Back out to Mags McAvoy. We should go on the left. No. Puts it across. They go changing. That's a dangerous ball in. And that goes out to the right and wide. And that was Leah Tarpey who had that kick, and again maybe could have steadied it up a bit and just taken her time, but anyway.
Went either way, Pat.
It could,
didn't drop into goals too.
Yeah, exactly,
There's another sub for Sarsfield, Lauren Carney, I think, is it? Looks like Lauren Carney.
Yeah. Now Portlaoise break out with the free. Ashton Keogh been tremendous all day. Was he going to go to Sarah Ann? But it comes out here, and that's well kept in play there by Shauna Jackson. Really super work by her. Fairness her. back to young Phelan who came on there. Ashton Keogh, who's gone from start to finish, hasn't given up one bit in fairness. Have been huge addition to all Portlaoise's good stuff today. And they really have played well, but they're settling down again to May Phelan back inside to Sarah Ann Fitzgerald. Alison just waiting for the outsider. No, she didn't decide not to pop it her. Comes over here to Christian Keenan, who's free, left Rachel Williams-Failer. Now Alison Taylor back up the end of that. They're trying to run down the clock. There was run there by Ellen, but it didn't happen. Now Sarah Ann tries to go through, way blocked. Ashton Keogh steadies herself, takes the kick, and it comes off the upright. Who's aside her? Leah Lockman aside her. She won't panic either. She turns left aside, but Rachel Williams doing a massive job of tackling her, and has to be. And they intercept that Sarsfield. A bit ponderous there by Portlaoise as Aisling Bohan comes tearing down the field with it. They need to score now. They'll be looking badly to get a score. Sarsfield, so they want to come back and claim their 8th title in a row. Joyce Dunn has it now. Still they're going. This is the young girl again, Leah Tarpey. Tarpey goes to the ground in the free in. Aisling Saunders there said, "You're not going by me that time," and made sure Leah Tarpey was going over.
She was right to do that though there, Pat. You know, to slow down the play, and like she didn't mean it. She just got the hand in. Yeah.
Not at all. No,
I'd say she'll just get a tick in there. But look, you don't mind that when there's only 5 minutes left in the game. Aisling's not going to mind that.
Not at all, no. And that's taking one for the team, as they call it.
Aisling Bohan did very well with that interception.
Oh, she did, yeah.
A great run
Carried the
there.
ball up the field. She's actually having a really, really good game. A real link player.
Claire Conlon outside the D now with this strong kid. A little bit of a breeze behind her. She'll fancy her chance of this, but is that going? That's curling back in. She's happy enough for that, and so is the umpire, more importantly. And they bring it back to a goal in it now. So this is tough times
Another
for anyone.
substitution there
Lauren
for
Carney.
Lauren Carney's coming in, yeah.
Great player for Sarsfield. She's a great underage player for Laois years ago.
Megan Dunn is coming out there.
Megan Dunn has tried hard, but Lauren Carney, she gets on the ball, blistering pace, and has started a couple of the Sarsfield games already this year. So she won't weaken the team, that's for certain.
No, she's great speed. She'll bring huge speed and energy.
Aoife Highland Conlon now looking for the options, no real options. Puzzled as where it's going to go, but it does come out, and they don't. But starts again in Portlaoise, just about mop it up and get the breaks. Luckily enough that time for them as they break out. And there's Sarah Ann Fitzgerald on it. She's steady. The pops it inside to May Phelan. Back to Sarah Ann. Place open up in front of her. Again as Amy Lockman tries to go back to block her. Amy's run, but Sarah Ann breaks away from them all. She's still going. Lauren Carney inside to Aisling Keogh. Aisling be super. There's a pop inside. Is that gone a bit far? Shauna Jackson tried to get on it. The umpire says it's gone wide. It's just a little bit strong, and that was real danger. That could have been game, set, and match if they got that.
Yeah, great
Angela.
teamwork by by Sarah Ann coming up the wing again. She's a great carrier of the ball, Pat. All day she's up that wing.
Grania Lawler gets the kick out, and Sarah Ann goes to her. She goes to the ground. She's still looking for the free. Didn't get it. But here's Rachel Williams now. Rachel going through. There's only the goal in it. This could be. They really have trying hard as Joyce Dunn gets on it. Joyce no fouls the referee. On she goes to Joyce Dunn as Ellen Healy trying to get off her, but Joyce comes in with the ball. The gap tightening, but she gets through them, 2 or 3 of them. She's still dancing on, still going with the ball. She's not looking for any repair. Is she going to pass it? She takes the kick herself and goes over the bar. And when you thought all hope has gone for her, she still pulled a score out of that, Angela. So Sarsfield has got nowhere.
For her today, but she just really stood up to be counted there when they really need her.
So the crowd are sensing a bit of a tough, tight battle, and we sense this from the start. This is going to be a tough game. Aoife Highland Conlon again looking for options. Puts a high one out. Who's going to get that? And that goes. Is that going out over the line? It is gone out over the line, and Sarsfield have this. So Sarsfield see that as a weak link at this point, don't they?
Look, a 2-point lead is a dangerous lead, Pat. They're always going to be going for the goals and all, so it's getting very exciting.
And
now
there's still plenty of time, yeah. I'd say there's going to be a couple of minutes of additional time as well, so they
Lauren
won't panic
Carney
just yet.
To Leah Tarpey. Leah across now. Laura Marie Maher pulled back by Aisling Saunders, but still gets away from her. Claire Conlon on it now. Pops it outside. Here comes the full back Jenny McAvoy, but Alison Taylor cleaned it up there. Eye on the ball all the time, knew where that was going, and her experience told. I'd say take it on there. Claire Byrne, as Ciara Byrne was pulled, and Aisling Keogh has it now. Aisling turns back around, see that the gap is blocked up inside, won't panic with it. A ball along the ground. Ciara Byrne gets it. Does she gather it? No. That's Shauna Jackson, sorry. Didn't gather it. Falls forward. Still has the ball. Back to Aisling Keogh. They need to steady with it. And 2 of them across to Alison Taylor. Taylor looking for May Phelan. She's going to play her, but she goes further outside the field.
Did really
to
well
Amy
there,
Byrne. Amy Byrne now has it. And outside is Kristen Keenan if she needs her, but doesn't. She plays it back inside. But that ball again, they're inexperienced, they need to hold on to that ball a bit more. Sarsfield break out with Ava Lawler down here now to Grania inside. This is the danger lady on it, but she's a bit far out from goals. Laura Marie Marr, she's going to stay going, I imagine. She's not looking to pass it inside. She goes to the middle. Cuts her over carrying. Yeah, a little bit, definitely good call of referee.
Alison Taylor really has been brilliant here, especially in the last 10 minutes. She's been brilliant for the whole game, but the last 10 minutes she's really stood up to it, and everything, and steadied the ship for them. That was a great defending by her there, and to be fair, she defended really, really well and didn't foul.
So Sarsfields have a play down, I'm not sure who it was. I said Aisling Bohan. She's been down there for the last little while there, even during that play, and normally, ladies football, they stop the play for free, but anyway, she's hobbling, doesn't look like she's going to continue as Sarsfields try to get a player in there and quickly get their
number
numbers back
21
up.
Orla Whelan, actually, yeah. She started the last day against Conlets.
Did she?
So right. She's back in.
Yeah. So Orla Whelan's going to come into the last minute or two of this game, and we don't know how much injury time is going to be added. There's Niall McCormack asked Brendan Hickey this,
Ashling's hobbling there big time, isn't she?
We're going to stay with this as long as we can. Fiona Dooley's coming back up. Maybe she just got a rest or something or whatever. Stephen Duff looking to play her back in again.
I think I'd be putting her back in too.
Absolutely,
just for the last few minutes,
gingerly, her legs
absolutely.
But if you're a Portlaoise player, you'd love to see Fiona coming back in for the last couple.
Leah Lockman's coming out there
making way for her, So
that's a good move there. I'd say it's just for defensive. You know what I mean? To take out.
Just try and hold the ball.
Yeah.
They're not going to go for scores. But
very, very strong player for Portlaoise.
110 for Portlaoise, 11 points for Sarsfield. The time is up, it's gone into injury time. We're not sure how much is there as they play around. And Ciara Byrne had it played it out. And here it comes. And there's Ellen Healy. Tremendous all day, it'd be super. And they play along, they go together. Redden gets it off. Aisling Saunders. Redden again, Saunders up beside her. Ashley Saunders gets it. She's looking at Ashley Keogh. Is she going to pass it? Or she does. Ashley Keogh winds up with the right boot. Is that going to be a score? And that is a super score from Ashley Keogh. And she's been deadly all day, Angela.
She has been from start to finish, Pat. And when she started playing with Laois, she was always that great steady player, great boot, and she's really shown it in the field today for Portlaoise. I know she's a great, massive heart for her club.
Yeah. Absolutely, and no one to begrudge her or any of the Portlaoise players their first title.
They have been brilliant.
But Sarsfield want to retain or want to get their 8th title in a row, and they're going to stay going at it. There's only a goal in it. 111 for Portlaoise, 11 points for Sarsfield. Alison McAvoy with it now. Back in through the middle she goes. Portlaoise back, Sarah Ann back. They're putting everything on their tackling. Alison Taylor there. Is that going to be cut out by Ellen Healy? No, it comes to Laura Marie Marr. Laura now, they're going to try and get to goal. They have to get Laura Marie towards the goal if they want it. Lauren Carney back out to Laura Marie Marr. Place blocked up, they try for the run. Mags McAvoy tries to run, pops it outside to Carney. There's the ball, a kick, and that's gone over the bar. Sarsfield with a point back. Leah Tarpey with a great score brings them back to 2 points. And we know it's a dangerous lead, but Sarsfield have to get this big pressure on Aoife Highland Conlon, make sure this kick out goes well. It kind of goes between the two, but they get it and Portlaoise get a free for that. Rebecca Redden, I think, won that kick out there. And then Fiona Dooley on it, as we said, it was important for Portlaoise that she's back in and she steadies the ship. And look who's on it again, Aisling Keogh, been tremendous. And there goes Fiona Dooley, and this is what Portlaoise were probably missing, that bursting pace. There's a player outside her, she looks the player. This could be all over for Portlaoise to take the shot. And over it goes, over the bar. Excellent score by Portlaoise. And Fiona Dooley and Aisling Keogh, the makers of that, Angela.
Look, Fiona Dooley has made it. She's only on the field a few minutes and she already has made a huge difference there.
As Portlaoise celebrate the kick out from the Sarsfield from Becky Williams and went out over the sideline for them, and their title is slipping away. Sarsfield with 2 minutes and a half gone of extra time. Not sure how long will be left. Alison Taylor on the ball. They won't mind now. They're going to play. Ellen Healy, tremendous all day, is holding the ball. Ashley Saunders looking for it. No need for them to rush now, as they say. Fiona Dooley calling for it. Ashley Saunders has it. Back to Ellen Healy. Ellen taken to the ground and wins are free, and this is as good as the score to Portlaoise. Stephen Duff is down there wiping the sweat off his brow. He's done great work with that team, hasn't he?
He really has. I don't know what, he's instilled huge confidence in them. Like, they have the same players they had for the last few years now. I know Sarah is back as well, but he's done great work with them. Fair play to him.
And they're so organised. They're fit this year. Do you know what I mean? He has been brilliant with them all year. And you know, he took over the junior team as well. The 40, 50 girls in training each night, and they all bounce off each other. And
he's in everything.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Sportsman, really well, and you know, as Fiona Dooley picks up, this was a masterstroke to bring her back in because she's steadying the ship. And Aisling Keogh, who needed no break, was still on for the whole match, hasn't faltered the whole game, has maintained the same pace as they run down the clock. Portlaoise do, and plenty of international basketballers there. I'll know what to do to run down the clock as Fiona Dooley hands the ball now. Aisling Keogh back out for it, trying to go through. Of course, all Sarsfield need is one sniff of it to get back up. There's a goal in it, but it doesn't look like they're going to score. But Aisling Keogh has it, and I'm talking, but they get back, and she still maintains between 3 or 4 of them. And that's Savage and Sarah Ann Fitzgerald. Kirsten Keenan plays it back outside. It goes out to Fiona Dooley. Fiona won't panic as they come out. The crowd looking, blowing their whistles. The referee whistle. Portlaoise subs are getting ready. Could this be their history making for Portlaoise, their first ever senior title, or could Sarsfield go back and maintain their 8 in a row? But Brennan Hickey says no. Portlaoise said no, and Portlaoise have won their first ever Laois senior ladies football final, and credit to him. Angela, well deserved.
Absolutely, Pat. I think from start to finish, they really, really deserve it. And great credit to Sarsfield there too. You know, they're around a long time and they're not gone yet. But I have to say, Portlaoise were outstanding. Their football was fantastic to watch. I wanted to point out 3 players there: Ellen Healy, Aisling Keogh, Alison Taylor. 3 girls I remember starting out with Laois when they came in, but they really stood up to be counted today. They were fantastic, those 3 players, and particularly Ellen Healy. She was all over the field, but very balanced team, and I'm delighted for them. They deserved it today.
And Mo, I suppose, Sarsfield's, you know, while they'd be disappointed with not getting the 8 in a row, you know, they really put in a strong performance, but just, I suppose, Portlaoise's hunger, I suppose, for it probably run out in the day, and maybe you get to that stage when you win so many in a row that the young hungry team come along, and that's what happened today, really, didn't it?
That's it. And like as we were saying, you know, Portlaoise had been thereabouts 2016, 2017, 2018. And you know, this is their year, Pat. They've been brilliant all year. All the games, they were unstoppable all year, and they brought that again today. Look, I mean, credit to Sarsfield, as I said, they've been a phenomenal side the past 10 years at least. They've been a dominant force. They will be bitterly disappointed, but you know, they'll be back again, you know what I mean. But today is Portlaoise's day. They were unbelievable today, and I'm absolutely delighted for the girls. Teddy McCormack down there, Stephen Duff and the management, you know, the lads have been doing great work with them this year. Ivan Byrne as well. So look, they'll definitely celebrate this one, and it's great, you know, and it's great to see new competition, a new team there this year, you know, so it's brilliant.
Yeah, and we're going to ask you maybe to stay tuned. I think the camera will stay on the celebrations, even though we'll be behind it, and we're going to try and get a player up there. But look, Portlaoise will go and enjoy this. It's their first ever, you know, Sarsfield, you know, look disappointed as you would expect any team, but you know, a lot of, you know, players have played a lot of, you know, football over many years, and really they've no discredit at all to their team. They really put up a stamp and weren't far off it, I suppose, in the end, were they, Angela?
No, they weren't, and I have to say Portlaoise had their homework done. You know, their defensively they were very good, very hard to keep Laura Marie at bay, you know, and they kind of teamed up and they did very well. Great move to bring Fiona Dooley back in at the end. I think she was a huge player for them as well. Look, you could mention every player in the field there for Portlaoise. They were all brilliant, and you could see the hunger in them. I think that was the big thing. Look, many teams have been there, like with ladies football. Sarsfield's a lot of girls, a lot of mileage on the legs too, but they're still not gone, and have played 13 girls off that team have played a camogie final 2 weeks ago, you know, so that has to have its toll on them too. But well done to Portlaoise, they really deserved it. They thoroughly deserved it now, I have to say.
Yeah, as they make their way to the presentation, you know, we were looking at Aisling Keogh. They've been rightly, you know, a stalwart for the team. Played superb today. You know, you could talk about a load of these players all day, but to a player, they were outstanding, Portlaoise, and really deserved it. You know, and we talked about the management team and that. I know Teddy and Stephen were involved with Laois there, you know, a couple of years, 2 years ago, wasn't it? You know, and it was a short spell, unfortunately, for them, but that'll all be wiped away now because they're just delighted for this. As Jason Monaghan, the the chairman is calling. If you're hearing the name, he's calling the players, Portlaoise players, and they're going to savour this moment, and rightly so. Their first time in their club's history to win the senior championship, ladies. Fantastic, yo.
All the Kyo's are down there. It's great to see them, and they'll be delighted with this one. Mary Healy well, and look, it's absolutely brilliant for them. Do you know, Nick and Loretta Dooley are down there as well. Do you know, it's great that the families can be here today. They mightn't have been at some of the games earlier on in the year because they're behind closed doors, but do you know, they'll really enjoy this one now. And I think they could be out in Leinster next week, actually. Yeah, I think they're playing the Carlow champions. So look, don't worry about that.
Great family names down there, the Dooleys and the Healys.
Yeah, I see Mick Dooley there with Fiona, and like, and when we look at it again, of course, I suppose we have to also, you know, a lot of these girls have come up through the Crease 3, Skull Crease 3, and you know, the success they've had under Pac Ritchie, you know, to name, but, and you know, good few lads in there and ladies who've done great work with him. So all this comes across into a thing as Aisling Saunders comes looking to be coming for presentation, and
absolutely delighted for Aisling. I think it's been like 13, 14 year with Portlaoise, and you know, she's a lovely girl, great attitude, and I'm thrilled for her down there.
Yeah, I know Aisling well. She's been off and out my house, and in fairness to her, but it's just she's absolutely super.
You know, I'm delighted for them girls there today,
yeah.
And it's nice to see somebody new too. You know.
Yeah, and ladies football, as you said, will be all the better for this, I suppose. I know you both said it. Would it be great if, you know, more of these girls were able to make their way into the Laois ladies panel? You know what I mean? Look, for obvious reasons, some haven't come into some good, which we hoping some might change their mind, particularly being buyed after this. Obviously, probably the club was probably the number one, and maybe now they might move on to Laois, you think?
Yeah, that's it, because especially when inter-county this year, it's going to be a shorter season, you know. We're in a round robin with Clare, Kildare and Sligo, so hopefully now a few of the girls will come in, you know, after this.
I see Aisling Saunders had brought Aisling Keogh with her, so we'll pass you over to them for the moment.
That's down to your management and how you gel so I know she's thrilled to see us standing here today too. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all involved at the Rugby League, the committee, everyone that's out there. It's been a strange year, but one thing I do know, that club is family. People that also deserve a huge thank you is our family, friends, and all of our wonderful supporters. Whether you are here today or watching from home, your constant support means the world to us, and we hope we can share these days, many more of them with you. I would just like to say hard luck to Sarsfield. We know only too well what it feels like to lose the county final. We know that this is the end of your success. Going for 8 in a row is a super achievement. We are a serious team and we have the utmost respect for our league. Last but not least, I would like to thank this bunch of unbelievably talented players. We were a team, but this year we became a family. We drove each other on, we motivated one another, supported each other, and encouraged one another throughout this strange year. And we had such laughs along the way. We left history today, and I know that we're not finished making it just yet. I, for one, cannot wait to see what the future has in store for us. So last but not least, come on, the tap.
After we hearing that celebration, and what a wonderful speech by Aisling Saunders. Aisling, I'll let you gather your breath, but we're here with player of the match. But Aisling, fantastic for your club. We looked at it here now. Absolutely, congratulations, I can say to you. But what a bunch of players and the team you've had this year.
Yeah, I suppose since the lads Stephen, Ivan, Teddy and Paul and Lorraine came in January, we met them up in the collection and they gave us a plan for the year, and the girls bought into it straight away. And even in COVID, we were, the minute it came in that we were on lockdown and football was stopped,
yes,
the lads were straight away in the WhatsApp and were like, girls, this is your programme now, you have to do this if you want to win a county title. And I suppose we all stuck by it, and we did it, and we encouraged each other on, we challenged each other, and sure, look, we got the reward for it. It's been a long time coming,
Yeah, and it's fantastic. And I know Angela and Mo, they would have played with you at Laois and all that, and are delighted for you. So is everyone else. But I mean, you win from start to finish personally yourself, deservedly player in the match. But there was other fantastic. I know Ellen Healy. We could start naming them. Fiona Dooley coming back on, probably steadied the ship for you back again. But I know you had great respect for the Sarsfield team, and they weren't there, 8 in a row for nothing. You know what I mean? But she's some challenge there this year.
Yeah, we knew we played them out in Rat League there after the lockdown. We got a good win, but we knew ourselves we didn't play 100%, and we knew there was a lot more in the tank, and we knew coming out here today it was going to be a challenge right down to the final whistle. And thank God we rose to the challenge, and we came out on top. And it's just great. You have to respect Sarsfield. Going for 8 in a row. They're serious outfit. There's serious players on there, which I have lucky enough to play with against Laois, and the girls that are gone as well. They're just a serious team, and I have the utmost respect for them. Always will. And I suppose to Mo and Angela as well. Them girls, you play with them at Laois, they get the experience of them. They've been here, they've won this. And I suppose it's just great now to finally there's another new team up. We're up in the ranks now, and hopefully we can keep challenging on for the next couple of years.
And the Keogh family name has been synonymous with Portlaoise and all they've done, and no more so than you, Ashley. And I'm so delighted for you because I've known you a while. You've been a stalwart and you've gone through thick and thin for the club. And we know there's been a huge amount of people, as John says there, looking in today from the outside. Have you any message for them as you win your first senior title? One of many, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I think I just have to thank everyone. I suppose I don't know, where do you start? I just thank everyone for supporting us. I think everyone believed that we were able to win a county title, and I suppose we didn't believe ourselves until this year we started, what we can do it. So it's only for family, friends, partners, everyone, supporters, they've all pushed us on, and thank God we've got them here today to celebrate with us.
Aisling, you've set the trend for your senior men to come along and try and follow you, but Aisling, go and enjoy the celebration, and really well done and fair play to you and delight for you. And as we said, as we leave MW Hiramore Park, the Portlaoise ladies have won their first senior ladies title after defeating Sarsfields, and their celebrations will go on for long. We really thank you for joining in, and hope to see you again soon. But thanks again to John Adams Car Sales, the Citroen and Honda dealer in Ballymac and Portlaoise. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to stream this game to you live, and I hope you enjoyed it, the hundreds of you that looked in on it. And again, as we leave here, Portlaoise are the winners of the Ladies Senior Football Championship for 2020. We leave you from MW Hiramore Park. Thank you again.